Hi there and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexandra and this week's sewing idea is a midi Milkmaid dress. As I told you in my previous Milkmaid dress video, I started this project with this midi dress. And I think this pattern is flexible and has the potential for other pattern transformations. So it will be fantastic for you to have it on your list. And it's also easy to make. So let's see how you can make it. First, you will need the following: around 2 meters of fabric, between 1-2 meters of elastic, and 1 invisible zipper. We will go second with the pattern. Grab your basic block because you'll need it. I took the basic bodice block and I started with the front. I cut out the dart. After I cut until the apex, I rotated the side part, closing the bust dart. Now I have my basic block without the bust dart, which is helpful for further transformations. I measure from the apex until under the bust to get the measurement I needed for the gather part. I doubled the value and got the circle part. I measure under the arm, in my case was around 2-3 centimeters, and I establish where I should cut the gather part, keeping the previous measurement in mind. In the end, I obtained 3 pattern pieces, as shown in the last picture. I took the third piece, the one that will be gathered. I eliminated the dart and added 6 centimeters to the fold line, and around 2-3 centimeters for the upper channel. This is how my front bodice looked without any seam allowances. Next, I took the back of the bodice. I measured how long I wanted my back to be. I cut out the back dart. Starting from the dart apex, I drew a straight line and I separated the 2 pieces. I straightened the side. Finally, I got this pattern for the back of my bodice. Seam allowance is not included, so don't forget to add seam allowance. Let's see how the process is on paper. I prefer to copy my basic blocks and work on a new piece of paper. I cut out each piece of the bodice, and I made a lining for the center front piece and side pieces from the same fabric. I also want to point out that I usually add seam allowance directly to the fabric when I cut it out. I recommend measuring before, especially if you're a beginner sewist. Now we can move to the skirt pattern, starting again with the blocks. I cut out the dart, and from the dart apex I drew a parallel line with the center front. I cut it on that line and I closed only half of the dart. I added more in length depending on how long you prefer to make it. I moved the dart to the side because I didn't want any darts, and I redraw the hip line. To make the front slit, I copied the front pattern. I first measure my center front because I wanted my dart aligned. Second, I draw a parallel line with the center front and cut on it. And this is how I got my front slit. I repeated the same steps for the back of the skirt. I already had a pattern made for the skirt, so I just had to lengthen it a bit. The last pattern transformation was made to the sleeves. To get those lovely puff sleeves that look so good, we can use a basic sleeve block. We will transform as wide and long as we want. I took my basic block and split it into 4 equal pieces. I added 12 centimeters between each piece. I redraw the new sleeve. I shorten it. And I got my sleeve pattern. I used a pattern that I already had for the sleeve. I just had to make it a bit smaller. After I cut each piece I needed, it was time to start the sewing process. I started with the bodice. I pinned the center and side pieces together. I did the same with the back pieces, face and lining. I sew it and pressed each new stitch. I pinned and sewed the sides. I press it. Next, I took the third pattern piece and sew it. I press it. I sew a second stitch for the elastic channel. Sew it as wide as your elastic. In my case was around 1 cm. I inserted the elastic through the channel with a safety pin. The following step was to gather the bottom part of the bust part. I increased my stitch length to the maximum and I made a double stitch. I gather it and pin it to the bodice. I sew it. After that, I attached the lining. I recommend you start with the previously sewn stitches and work your way up until the side stitch. I sew it. And I made an understitch too. Next, I close the back. And once again another understitch. I secure the elastic and press it. We can now move on to the sleeve. I started by sewing them. And use the serger to clean the edge. After that, I made the hem of the sleeves by rolling under. I made it around 3 cm. Press it. I measured directly on the fabric how much I needed to keep straight for the underarm stitch. I rolled and pinned the channel. And sew it. I inserted the elastic. To know how much elastic you need for the sleeve, you have to measure it and extract a few centimeters to make the sleeve stay in place. So if you have like 26 centimeters, you'll add 24 centimeters of elastic. Secure the elastic and insert the elastic to the bottom of the sleeve by measuring your arm circumference. Once again, I secured the elastic. After I got the sleeves, I attach and sew them to the bodice. I clean the edges with the serger. And and I reinforce the sleeves by double stitching the ends of the sleeve back and front. Moving on to the skirt. I started by sewing together the sides. And I finished each side with the serger. I used the serger for the front slit too. And I pinned and sewed the front slit. You can measure as long you want the slit. Mine was at 37 centimeters from the waist. I sew it, I press each side, and press the front slit. I also sew the front slit. This is how the front slit will look in the end. The following step was to attach the skirt to the bodice. I matched the sides and pin it. I sew it and clean it with the serger. The last step was the zipper. I use the serger for this edge to make it clean. I pin the zipper to the dress. I sew with the regular presser foot. I place it on the other side. I switch the regular foot with the one for the invisible zipper. I close the skirt and fold the zipper in the back. Once again, everything was pressed. I finished the dress with a roll hem. And one last press. Now let's see how everything turned out. What can I say? It was the perfect dress for my vacation. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you have any questions or advice, as usual, my comment section is open. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up and share with other sewist enthusiasts. Until next time, let's find inspiration.